All right, friends, we're jumping in today of rebuilding American industry. So think modernizing industry. Today I want to talk about two things, and this video is going to go over two concepts. One, I just like talking and giving you an update of what's going on in our fourth business as we're building it. Two, I want to talk about a role that didn't exist before that now is infiltrating the businesses that we're building. And I'm afraid if we don't start looking in this direction, we're going to find ourselves either getting recreated, aka displaced by competition, or new hungry AI technologists are going to come over and take our industry over. This doesn't matter what type of manufacturing company, industrial company you are, it's happening right now and today. So let's jump right in. All right, friends, so today I want to talk about a new role in our industrial businesses that did not exist before. So it didn't exist when I started my first business in 2007. Does exist as we're building our fourth company here in 2026 and beyond. And that is a role of technologist. And I'm not talking about someone who is a subject matter expert and knows your product, your offering, your service, your industry, your piece of equipment, whatever it is. I'm talking about somebody who knows how to come into your business, and instead of building the business around people, right, we build it around systems. So in the old days, and by the way, I am very pro people because people is one of the three things we need to really have fun in life and grow and scale our businesses. People, purpose, and process. I'm talking now about the process. In the old way of building our businesses, as we started to grow or as we started to scale, we threw people at the problem. So let's say I'm the operator, I'm the owner, I'm the deliverer, I'm the service tech, I'm the manufacturing partner, and I'm busy on my computer doing the manual task all day long. My invoices stack up and I have to do all the paperwork on a weekend. I don't know, you name it. Travel expenses never get done because I just don't have time because I've got too much work. Customers are coming in, or heard this one today, I need to be out there selling, right? So what we do? In the old days, we hired people. So we grew a business where we got up to about 75 employees, where we needed more tasks to be done. We needed more people to do those tasks. Now, fast forward to today. For the last 4 or 5 years, we've been building businesses around innovation, technology, AI automation, agents, and all the fancy things that are here. And what really happened is we just got curious. Hey, what is this thing called AI? What is an AI agent? What is automation? How do we build systems? How do we build tools that help us do our job inside of our companies? Then we started helping other companies put these tools in. Then we realized, hey, a key component to every business that we're operating in and that we've got is an AI technologist. Maybe an AI entrepreneur, because what that person does comes into the business and looks and sees what are we doing both individually as manual tasks, and what are we doing inside our business that we can now automate, we can now put systems in, put technology in, put AI in to do it for us. So here's an example. Back in 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, all the way to 2017, before we exited again the business, to do a quote, we would gather all the engineered data, right? Let's say it's a combustor, a thermal oxidizer, a mechanical contracting system, an electrical contracting product or service opportunity. We would gather all the engineering data, talk to the customer, understand the needs, maybe even look at an RFQ. Then we would take all that information, size it, engineer it, design it, put it into a proposal. Now that work is all pre-engineer work because we don't do the real detailed stuff till after we get the order. So you do all the pre-work. Then you do the manual process of putting it into a proposal, a quotation. Then you review it. Then you send it to the customer. And I always found that until we got to like revision 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the project was kind of superficial, right? So sometimes companies just need to get 1, 2, 3, 4 bids. They'll ask you for a bid, they look, throw it away, whatever. But if you start getting the questions, you start to get to Rev 2, Rev 3, where you're revising your quotation, your proposal, you're getting somewhere. Okay, so in the old days, that would take hours of time from a person to do. Nowadays, we're a bit like the orchestrator. We're built like the conductor in our businesses. So we take a very manual process. We take let's call it a cogwheel, a system, as our nucleus of the business. We feed information into the core nucleus of the system, right? That's our AI, our large language model, whatever it is for you and your business. Then the system does the work. Historically, that was people. Now the system outputs a finished proposal, in this case, a finished product. All right, so what do we do then? We review. So we're inputting information and we're reviewing the output. That's it. That's our job. That takes literally hours of work has gone down to as much time as you can feed into it and as much time as it takes you to review. So let's think about this, feeding into it. In the old days, Excel spreadsheets, tons of discussion, lots of tribal knowledge, lots of things in the computer, books and all this stuff. Nowadays, we feed all that in to the model. So when your data comes in, you've got an educated nucleus hub brain that can then do all of the work and send back out a finished product. What does it help you do? Helps you save tremendous amounts of time because now you're able to focus and stay in your zone of excellence, your superpower, right? Your superpower is where you want to live. So if you are a mechanical contractor and you're excellent at going out and scoping projects, bidding the work, looking around and saying, hey, it's going to take XYZ to do that mechanical contracting product. Well, or project. Well, you need to be living there. You don't need to be stuck in your truck doing quotes all day long because that's inefficient use of your time. So we've got a great person in that role who hates the paperwork. We take all the paperwork away. All right, so you got an electrical contracting partner who goes out and can really design, bid the work, but they're stuck doing all this behind the computer paperwork. Doesn't make sense. You've got high-paid application engineers, owners even if you're doing this work, spending time behind the laptop doing non-revenue generating activity. Okay, so now the people side. Do you get rid of those people? No. We build our businesses differently. If you're starting out, you can first implement your systems as your fundamental layer of the business. So if you're just starting out, you're in that 0 to 1 phase, the systems, the technology becomes your first teammates. Then, as you start to grow, you can have higher value added people go out and do the work. Higher value added people would be people who could help you attract your customer. People who could help you build the attraction, nurture, convert systems, the nucleus. Teammates who can go out and do the work, the delivery phase. So if you have attract, nurture, convert, deliver, this is where we spend most of our time getting the right people in the right seats. People who can do the work. People who can build the product. People who can wire up the control panel. People who can size, design, engineer the gas train and then assemble that gas train. People who can talk to a customer to translate a technical product into a very simple solution. Marketing systems that can nurture our ideal customer until they're ready to buy. Because in these situations, most of the time, when a customer needs you, they go looking for you. So how do we do that? We've got to say top of funnel and always make sure our awareness is key. So that when they are ready to buy, they know that we exist. You can build the same system. All right, now for a little business update. So we've been building a brand called Create Industries, and I think of it like an ecosystem. An ecosystem guided by a core nucleus of innovation and technology, surrounded by subject matter experts who really understand how to deliver. So I love talking about business in terms of attract, nurture, convert, deliver. This is where the real magic happens because we decided years ago that if we can't trust each other as a teammate, we're in a mess of an organization. It's just not fun building a business. And last week was pretty much a gong show and needed us to be able to trust each other. We had a supplier sort of let us down. We had a bunch of people coming to a site. We were going to do a big test. We had everything planned out from the manufactured goods to the gas supply to all the equipment until we didn't have it figured out. And it took us a week of scrambling to really figure out, can we pull this job off or are we going to have to postpone? And ultimately we had to postpone and it sucked bad. And we had to do that last minute. So it was a really difficult week because we were stressing the whole time. I was waking up at 4 in the morning thinking about this piece of equipment that we were missing, going, how are we going to find this piece of equipment? But I realized something interesting. Right now, the market is when you need something, system breaks, you need a new piece of equipment, your air permit gets whacked up and you get a fine, inspector finds something you need repaired, you're building a factory and your subs aren't showing up. You need to find that missing ingredient, that product or that service. And so we go online. We can go nowadays to Google. We've always been able to do that. I don't know. Yeah, we could do that in '07, I think. And then we can also go to all the fancy LLMs, the Chat GPTs, the Claudes, the Geminis, and all the others. And we can search for, I need an XYZ. Well, then it's going to give you some, and you're going to go try to call that company through their website. And what I found out last week, no one is answering the phone. No one is answering an email. Problem number one, I think to win in business, you need to be really easy to do business with. So what does that mean? You need to have speed, answer the phone, send the text message reply, answer the email quickly. You need to be knowledgeable when you answer that phone, text, email. And if you do those things right, you win the trust of the customer. Well, I couldn't find anybody to do that. So then I have been posting content on LinkedIn forever. Went to LinkedIn and thought, hey, we're good at using this as an attraction nurturing tool for us. How do I actually use it for beneficial when I need to find a supplier? Used the same methodology. Find the company that I want to talk to, go to their people. So you could do that on the paid version of Sales Navigator or the regular version of LinkedIn. Go to the people, look for who you think is going to answer you, be responsive. I started reaching out to companies that way, got immediate replies from people, got someone to help us who has solved the problem for us, and they had a social presence. I don't know. I think there is something to the industrial space adapting to a more social media presence for business development and sales and attraction, because when we do it, the things we're doing to attract our customers, and we've got a pretty good pipeline built up, it works the other way around too. It helps us find products that we need. Because basically what we're doing is we're buying pieces of equipment and assembling them into a system, a solution that we then provide to the market to solve a problem. Whether that's an emission control system, whether that's a mechanical upgrade, whether it's an electrical upgrade, whatever it is. So I don't know, friends. I think the number one thing is we have to be open-minded to change, open-minded to all these new tools that are available, and open-minded to finding and operating in our superpower so that we stay doing the things that we're good at really good. And then the final thing I'll leave you with is when the crap hits the fan, as it did for us last week, when you can trust the people you've got around you on the team who support you, love you, and kind of assure you, hey, it's going to be all right, we're going to make it through, things happen. The world changes. It gets you into a better perspective, because what I've learned through entrepreneurship in 25 years is every day is going to be tough. Every day is a challenge. Every day you're going to be a problem solver. How well you solve those problems and lead your team to a solution is how well our business will grow and how well we'll perform as leaders. That's all I got, friends. Thank you for being here today. Let's join together in rebuilding American industry so that we can both create opportunity and recreate impact. Take care, friends. See you next week.